At 35,000 feet, silence is deadly. No engine noise, no thrust, no second chances. Up here, gravity does not forgive mistakes. This really happened. Not in a movie, not in a simulation, on a real passenger jet, with real people on board, and only minutes to survive. The flight was supposed to be routine, a normal day, a standard Airbus A320, clear skies, calm weather. Nothing unusual on the route. Passengers were relaxed. Some were asleep. Some watched movies. Others stared out the window, bored. In the cockpit, everything felt normal. The instruments were steady. The engines were strong. The pilots were experienced, calm, focused. Nothing hinted at danger. Then, without warning, something changed. The first engine failed. There was no explosion, no fireball, no dramatic shake, just a warning chime. A message on the screen. Engine failure, serious but manageable. Commercial planes are designed for this. They can fly safely on one engine. The captain reacted instantly. No panic, no hesitation. He followed training, memory items, checklists. The aircraft remained stable. Altitude held. Control was normal. One engine was still running, for the moment. Then something worse happened. The second engine failed. Both engines,
I can't believe you
gone.
did that.
The cockpit
watch
filled
this
with
one then.
alerts. Warnings stacked on warnings. No thrust, no climb, no power. At 35,000 feet, the sound changed instantly. The roar disappeared. The vibration vanished. Only air rushing over the wings remained. Silence. Every pilot fears this moment. This is not supposed to happen, but it can. In the cabin, passengers felt nothing at first. No screams, no alarms. Flight attendants moved calmly. Coffee cups stayed steady. Most people had no idea. But the plane was no longer flying, it was gliding. Without engines, an aircraft does not drop like a rock. It glides forward while losing altitude, slowly, relentlessly. Every second mattered now. The pilots knew the numbers, they knew the math. An Airbus A320 can glide about 15 miles forward for every mile of altitude lost. That sounds impressive, until you realize how fast altitude disappears. At cruise altitude, time is limited, very limited. The captain scanned the displays. Airports appeared on the navigation screen. One by one, they disappeared. Too far, unreachable, impossible. The clock kept ticking. No engine restart, no thrust returning. The aircraft was clean, stable, but descending. This was the moment pilots trained for, over and over again. But hope they never face. The captain had seconds to decide. There would be no second attempt, no go around, only one option. He chose it. Not a runway, not an airport, something else, something unexpected. The plane began descending toward it. This is the part most people don't understand. Planes are not bricks. They are not helpless without engines. Lift does not disappear. Control does not disappear. Only thrust does. The wings still worked. The flight controls still responded. Because planes are designed for failure. They are built with layers of protection, backup systems, redundant systems. Even without engines, the aircraft still listens to the pilots. Hydraulic systems remain active. Electrical power switches automatically. The plane is never alone. Altitude kept dropping. The ground grew closer. Seconds felt like hours. Every small movement mattered. Too steep, and control would be lost. Too shallow, and impact would be violent. The pilots balanced it perfectly. Then the captain spoke. His voice came through the cabin speakers, calm, steady, no panic. He told the passengers to prepare. Brace. Fear spread instantly. Hands tightened. Breathing changed. But something unexpected happened. People listened. They trusted the voice. Because calm saves lives. Panic kills. Pilots are trained not just to fly, but to lead. The aircraft continued descending. Wind noise grew louder. The surface ahead was closer now. No engines, only skill, only physics, only one chance. The aircraft lined up perfectly. This was it. No retry, no backup plan, just one attempt. The plane touched down, hard, but controlled. The structure held. The wings stayed level. The aircraft slowed. It worked. everyone survived. Not because of luck, not because of miracles, but because planes are designed to survive the impossible. If a commercial jet can land safely after losing both engines at 35,000 feet, what other situations are aircraft quietly built to survive that most passengers never think about? Without engines, this plane should have been uncontrollable, but it wasn't. And the reason is something most passengers never think about. Engines are not what keep a plane in the air. Wings do. As long as air is moving over the wings, lift exists. Even with both engines gone, the aircraft was still flying. Just without thrust. That means no climbing, only gliding. And gliding is something commercial planes are designed to do very well. The Airbus A320 has a glide ratio of roughly 15:1. For every mile it descends, it can travel 15 miles forward. That gives pilots time. Time to think. Time to choose. Time to survive. But flying without engines isn't just about wings. It's about control. And this is where most people get it wrong. When engines fail, the plane does not lose control, because engines do not control the aircraft. Hydraulics do, and those systems have backups, multiple backups. When both engines stopped, the aircraft automatically deployed emergency power. A small device called a ram air turbine. It drops into the airflow beneath the plane. As long as the plane is moving forward, it spins. That spinning generates power, enough to keep critical systems alive. Flight controls, navigation, basic instruments. The plane was still listening to the pilots. Every movement of the control column still mattered. Every adjustment still worked. This is not an accident. This is intentional design. Commercial aircraft are built with failure in mind. Not just one failure, but multiple failures happening at the same time. That's why nothing suddenly shuts down. That's why control remains. And then there's training. Pilots don't learn this in real emergencies. They learn it long before, in simulators, over and over again. Engine failures, dual failures, impossible scenarios, until the response becomes automatic. Muscle memory, checklist discipline, decision-making under pressure. So when this moment arrived, it wasn't chaos. It was execution. Calm, precise. Every action had a reason. Every second had a purpose. This plane was not surviving because of luck. It was surviving because it was designed to fail safely, and because the people flying it were trained for the worst day of their careers. If engines aren't the most important thing keeping a plane alive, then what really is? Then this wasn't luck, and it definitely wasn't a miracle. What saved this plane was something most passengers never think about. Every commercial aircraft is built with one assumption, that something will fail. Not maybe, eventually. That's why nothing critical exists only once. If one system stops, another one wakes up. If that fails, a third is already waiting. Hydraulics, electrical power, flight controls. They are layered, separated, protected. Engine failure is not an unknown scenario. It's trained, repeated, rehearsed for years. Pilots don't improvise in moments like this. They execute memory. Every checklist exists because someone, somewhere, already faced the worst. Aviation rules are written after accidents, but safety is built before the next one ever happens. That's why events like this feel impossible, because the system was designed to make survival look ordinary. So the next time you feel turbulence or hear a strange sound at 35,000 feet, remember this: the aircraft has already planned for failure, long before you ever boarded the flight. The real question is, what other situations do you think planes are secretly prepared for that passengers never hear about?